January 15th, 2009. A freezing winter day in New York City. From LaGuardia Airport, a routine flight, Flight 1549, took off. 155 people, passengers and crew, all lost in their own thoughts. None of them knew that just minutes later, their lives would hang between life and death. The plane climbed into the sky. Everything seemed normal. Seat belts fastened, passengers reading magazines, gazing out at the snowy skyline. But then, a sudden impact. A flock of geese slammed straight into both engines of the Airbus A320. In one instant, silence. Both engines were dead. The plane had become nothing more than a powerless glider over one of the most crowded cities in the world. Inside the cockpit, alarms were screaming. The first officer shouted, "We've lost both engines." Captain Chesley Sullenberger, known to the world as Sully, immediately took control. Air traffic control gave instructions. Return to LaGuardia. Another option, Teterboro Airport. But Sully knew neither was possible. The plane had lost too much altitude, too much speed, and ahead lay only skyscrapers, bridges, and highways. Every second mattered. Passengers felt the plane sinking. Some began to pray. Others tried sending one last text message to their loved ones. And through the cabin came the chilling announcement, "Brace! Brace!" Sully made a decision, one no handbook could ever teach. He said calmly, "We're gonna be in the Hudson." Yes, a water landing. The aircraft dropped lower, and there, in the distance, the frozen Hudson River appeared. Panic filled the cabin. Some grabbed the seats, some shut their eyes. 208 seconds. That's all it took, from takeoff to impact. And then, a massive splash. The Airbus slammed into the river, but it didn't break apart. Shaken, bruised, terrified, but alive. Freezing water began pouring into the cabin. Passengers rushed to the emergency exits, crowding onto the wings. Others scrambled into life rafts, shivering in the icy wind. Their lives were still hanging in the balance. But then, New York's ferries and rescue boats raced to the scene. Coast Guard, divers, volunteers, all working together to pull people to safety. Some passengers were numb from the cold, but every single one of them was saved. All of them survived. 155 souls, not one lost. The world called it the miracle on the Hudson. Experts later admitted, one wrong move, and this would have been a tragedy. When Captain Sully was asked, "How did you make such a brave decision?" he simply smiled and said, "I was just doing my job." That day, the world learned something important. Sometimes true heroism is simply doing your duty with absolute honesty and courage.